shorting vol. I mean, that's been amazing. Um, unfortunately for me, I wasn't. I guess I'm probably not savvy enough yet to be in that game, as it's happening. So at this point, I just look at it as a crowded trade. But who knows? It may continue, and I may start trying it.
I was doing it all year or last year.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean,
or this year.
It's just not my trading style. But I feel like when I do venture into that, trying to be theta gang and whatever, I just absolutely kill it. I don't know why I don't do it all the time, but yeah, I mean, probably
to be honest, it's easier than
it really is. Way easier. So probably venture into it again. I don't think I'm going to in the next 45 days or so, but we'll see if my thesis plays out in the next 45 to 60 days. I'll be sitting really pretty, but not until then. I gotta wait.
No, that makes sense. I haven't really been doing much because I basically, like, after blowing up pretty bad with those SPX 0 DTEs, like, I've become like much more conservative in terms of what I'm doing. So
isn't that interesting? The longer you trade, the more conservative you end up becoming. I'm pretty sure that's a very consistent pattern for people.
Oh yeah,
I do. I think you become more risk averse over time, especially when you get older too. You just freaking hate blowing up an account because it just sucks.
That's actually something, we talked about those like futures accounts or whatever. Like, that's actually something I really appreciate about them. It's going to sound stupid because it's like, I know that by and large, in a lot of very substantial ways, it's a scam. But at the same time, as a way to learn how to trade and just blow up over and over and over, I feel like it's great. I feel like
it is a good way to kind of get that out of your system, I guess, and not be hurt too much financially. I think you're right there. If you are going to get in and just be a YOLO and just kind of get the degen out of your system, it's probably a safe way to do it. Using real money, in a way, you're using real money, but it's not directly correlated to your bank account in a way. But by and large, with that, I think what it does over time is you look back over your 4 or 5 years of doing this, and you go, "Gosh, if I would have just taken it slow, how much better would it have been?"
Yeah.
Right. Like, you think about, man, if I would have just taken profits every time I saw 30% gain, I mean, my win rate would have been like 80%. Right. And the losses would have been way lower. And the profits that turned red would have been non-existent almost. And my equity curve would have literally gone from bottom left to upper right. And so it's like, okay, well, maybe I should just take 30% every time I see it instead of waiting for 300%.
Dude,
I don't know. I think that's just what the mentality ends up being. I think that's why you see a lot of these FinTwit accounts end up turning into option seller accounts, because they've been doing it for so long. They got blown up so many times. Then they go, well, theta's amazing. Let me just do that. And then they go dip to it.
They're going to get blown up, but
they are, for sure, because you're right. Eventually, that moment's going to hit where it's like they're so over leveraged on the short side, they get destroyed.
It's really funny, but I've actually never blown up selling options ever.
Really? Yeah, me neither. It's crazy.
And the reason is, I'm not sure, but I think the reason is because I'm so fucking paranoid when I'm selling options. Because, like, I know this is fucking risky,
Yeah. It's only risky because you can blow your entire account if you screw up one time.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's where the anxiety comes from. If you buy long and you're in it for $1,000, okay, well, that's the max you're going to lose, right? So it doesn't feel as risky, even though you're obviously your odds of winning are way lower.
Exactly. Which is the complete, like, it's a complete how would I put it? It's like an illusion. Right?
It's just a mind trap, man. That's all it is. If you were just a robot and you built your algo to go in and sell the 80% probability option every single day, you're probably fine. You know what I'm saying? You're probably fine. Or don't sell it naked, man. Just freaking at least cap it a little bit. Give yourself a nice wide spread or something, right? Like, you don't have to be in it for the full premium.
Yeah. No, that's totally true. That's another thing that, I mean, like, in some ways, I think maybe I do a little bit better when I'm trading futures when I don't have a stop.
Yeah,
Uh,
we've talked about this.
yeah,
The stop is a mental trap as well, because you know essentially you have unlimited. Like you look at futures, and I saw another guy on Twitter talking about this the other day. For some reason, trading futures, if you're down 10 points in futures, you're just freaking out.
yeah,
Right. But you could be down 50% on an options trade, and you could just you just sit on it, man, because it's like, well, I got capped losses here. It doesn't really matter. You already know your risk. But, getting stopped out on a trade in futures just sucks because it hits your stop and reverses most of the time. And so then you leave it open or you put your stop too wide, and effectively you're looking at it as you have unlimited risk because it could continue going down forever as
yeah. And
far
I
as you
think
can.
I think when you're in that state where it's like, oh, I have unlimited risk here, it means that you really want to know, is this trade still on or not?
Where are you wrong is the question, because it's
Yeah.
really hard to know that when you're in it. Yeah, that's such a good point. When you're in a long options trade, you're just directional premium. I've got a $200 call on Tesla. I know I'm wrong when when the trade is at zero, right? I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. And okay, I lost $200. Okay, big deal. But you lose $200 in futures? Okay, well, are you going to wait for it to come back?
That's just the beginning.
Or do you guys cut your loss and then look at yourself at the end of the day and go, gosh, I should have just freaking held it if I wasn't a little punk? It came back and went up 20 points. So, yeah, futures is a different animal in that sense that, yeah, you're looking at it. It's a mind trap. You're looking at it as this unlimited risk. And there's
Yeah.
no real way to cap it except for with a stop. And the stop messes with your head too, because, you know, effectively, in a sense, and we talked about this too, if you had unlimited money, you can just average into your trade until it works.
Well, yeah, I mean, although sometimes, and to take the other side a little bit, sometimes like I will have a stop and then I'll get stopped out and I'll take a beat, and then I'll look at it again. I'll be like, you know what? This is a pretty good trade. And I'll just
That-
put it on again with a stop.
That's the correct way to do it. Okay. That's the correct way to do it. And it sucks because you got to take the loss. You got to realize the loss.
Yeah.
And I always do way better when I do that. When I realize the loss and I go, well, gosh, it sucks. I had to take a $200 hit there or whatever. But then you get in lower and you're going, well, actually, I got a better position now than
Yeah,
I
and I
did
feel I
before.
feel more confident here. I think a lot of times, what will happen to me is like I feel like, well, it's what I was telling you before, right? It's like I have tools that are telling me what the market should do, or what at least I think the market should do. And so sometimes it'll be like, okay, I don't know, there's a 70% chance that we revert to the upside here, right? And so I'll immediately get long, right? And I'll be like, you know what? I don't care about the structure. I don't care about the volume profile. I don't care about anything because, I know that there's a 70% chance that we're going to go back up, right? But then, we go down another 5 points before we make, have a massive squeeze or something like that. And so it's like, because I didn't wait for that, VPOC or LDN or whatever, right? And I just got in because I thought, I was like, oh, I know what it's going to do. All of a sudden, I'm in a position that's just like hurts, even if it's a good one in theory, right?
And
Um,
why does it hurt though? That's the next question, because should it hurt that, if you're pretty confident, like right now, I'm in a pretty sizable Litecoin position in crypto. Okay. And I'm probably down 2 points now. It
mhm.
kind of hurts. Okay. But I'm pretty sure I'm in a good position here. Do I take the loss or do I just wait it out?
Well, I mean, has the thesis changed or
No,
become
it
validated?
hasn't. The only time it changes is when it starts hurting, truly hurting, right? Like when I'm losing more money than I feel like I should. And I think, that's probably where futures comes in too, because futures hurts, man. When you're losing, you're red in futures. It sucks. It's hard to sit there red,
Well, there's almost like this thing where,
especially when you think you're right. That's the other part.
yeah.
When you think you know what's about to happen, that's where you get hurt. especially when you're wrong. When you think you know what's about to happen and it's not happening, that's where it's like, okay, what is going on here?
Yeah, you know what it is for me. I think it's like, okay, like let's say I have a 4 point stop, right? And I get in and we're immediately down 3 points, and like I still think that the position's a good position. Then all of a sudden I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to go through the whole process of getting stopped out here, finding another entry, and then getting myself back in the right place. And I'm risking losing out on the trade that I initially saw. Because I might not be fast enough or I might not be able to decide quick enough. So it's almost like I committed a poor entry and then I'm annoyed that because I've made a poor entry, I might miss my trade.
And that's another thing with futures is it's a precision game. Sorry, our kids are in the background, but it's a precision game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like all about that specific little level that you have. That dude, I hate that though, man.
It's all about the level, and it's all about that stop. And it's like if you were just off by like a point, I don't know how many times I missed a trade by like half a point, right? Because I was like, oh, I want to get the 76s, and they run it down to 77.50 or whatever, and it's like, dude, come on, you guys couldn't have gone down like another point and a half or something, and then or your stop was off by like a point. And you lose the entire trade over like pennies.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing is just if you're not a mechanical precision type of personality, that's why directional options are so nice, because you just go, okay, I'm just going to risk this amount, $150.
Well, what I keep thinking though is like, why can't futures be that way, right? Why can't I do half of the size I'd otherwise do and then increase my stop, like double my stop, and then just do that
and just chill?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's the precision aspect of it, and the linear nature of the gains. Whereas like options are exponential, or what would you call it? Logarithmic in a way, where, you're risking a small amount, but, the gains are so exponential that it's worth it. Whereas in futures, it's like, a point is a point. A point is $5 or a point is $50. And it's just so linear and so, so precise that I think it just messes with you a little bit, especially when you're wrong.